this, so it's like that.
Stays
Keep it out of the dirt, sand, mud.
Yep.
Ready to roll. All right, welcome back to Building BuiltRight. If you remember last week, we got our bedside up with our bedside racks and the cover from Diamondback. That is still looking and feeling great. This week we are going to get this PowerTank that our friends at PowerTank sent us mounted to this passenger side panel here. So we're gonna do that. The first thing we're gonna do though is set up the Seat Back MOLLE Panels that are in this truck. So we stripped those down, we've got those here. I'm gonna reinstall these in the truck, and then we're gonna get them set up with some of the pouches and things that I need to have for this road trip. So let's get to that first. Like I mentioned, we have the top bracket and the bottom bracket for these Seat Back MOLLE Panels still installed on the truck. I won't bore you with that description. I'm just gonna put the panel back on. If you want more detail there, we can put the link to the full installation guide in the comments or the description of the video. But I'm just gonna put these 3 button head machine screws back in at the top. I'm not gonna tighten them down yet. And then there's 2 button head machine screws on the bottom here. And then I can tighten everything down. I'm gonna install our pouches on here without removing the panel. You can install just about anything on these panels without removing them, but if you do need to or you wanna really reconfigure clamps, it's just 5 fasteners. Sometimes it's easier to have these sitting on a workbench than it is wrenching around the side of something. All right, so like I mentioned, I'm gonna put pouches on these seats. That's gonna be for toys, snacks, water bottles for the kids, that kind of thing. So we have a couple of them banging around and a couple here that are part of a 3-piece kit, 1 large, 2 smaller ones. We call them small, but they're actually, you can probably see, they're like a pretty good size. And we'll be all set. All right, so I think what I'm gonna end up doing here is I'm gonna actually put 1 big pouch on the bottom, and then I'm gonna have 2 smaller pouches up at the top just like this, and I may actually do that on both sides. I'm gonna see how this one looks first. So what I'm gonna start with is this large pouch. I've got it opened up here. That makes it easier to reach the back side of the snaps to snap these on. Now there's a couple of ways to do it from here. You can, and this will be harder with the panel on the vehicle, you can weave the straps back into the webbing here. And that is how kind of a purist would probably do it. Given that this is going to be holding coloring books and baby toys, I'm just going to let this hang out the bottom and snap it on here. That'll keep it from swinging. It's just not like by the book, so to speak. That obviously is a judgment you'll have to make based on your application. All right. That feels about right. All right, so then I want these 2 to be symmetrical. I've got my smaller pouch here, dropping this down. I'm gonna bring this through and snap it on. Same thing on the other side. All right, so one thing real quick to note is some people will actually send us a message wondering if our pouch was assembled incorrectly. The way we have these mesh inserts designed, because we intend for them to hang on panels, is that the opening on the mesh inserts, once it's open, both of them are facing up so that when you open your pouch, the contents of this don't dump onto the ground. So if you have concerns, you can cinch up the elastic, but that is the reason these pouches are not symmetrical. Man, what a cool system. I'm biased, but like...
That's a sweet solution.
Matt had to take another call, so I'm installing this 3-piece kit. You probably can't hear me right now, but that's all right.
All right, so our Seat Back MOLLE panels are all set. Now we're moving back to the PowerTank. We were waiting for this to show up. We worked with our friends at PowerTank, let them know kind of what we were looking to do. they made a bunch of recommendations, and we ended up picking up a nice kit that has kind of a handful of things. I don't know if I'll walk you all through it, but it's like a coiled hose, some tools, a blowgun kit, tire repair kit, a nice bag for a bunch of accessories, and then obviously the mount and this, I think they call this the power plate, something like that. And this is essentially going to be a backer plate to our bedside rack panel. So the first thing I'm going to do is basically figure out where I want this tank. I kind of know more or less. I want the bottom of this sitting on the bed, so take a little bit of stress off the panel. And I know that obviously the regulator and the cage here, the handle, have to clear the gas spring here of the Diamondback. So more or less, I know the top of this handle can be about this high. That's about a ½ inch over the top of the panel, and there won't be any interference. All right, so now I know where the tank's gonna go. I'm gonna mock up where I want the bracket to sit. Let's see, I want it kind of want it centered a little bit. So I'm gonna attach the bracket to the tank and then hold it up about where I want it to go. Something like that. I'd still like to be able to get a hook on this tie down if possible. So now what I'm going to do is just put a piece of tape kind of where the bracket is going to sit. And then I'm actually going to take the panel off the truck so that I can attach this plate to the back side. She's fully charged. She's got some kick. All right, so I've got our mount obviously disconnected or separated from the tank. I can line this up exactly where I had it. And then they provide these nice washers that self-center on the mounting holes, and then this low-profile hardware. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out exactly where this lines up with some of our slots, and then use this backer plate on the back side of our panel, which is going to lock everything together and provide some additional rigidity to our panel, which is helpful. These things are, full. A 10 or 15 pound tank can obviously be 30 to 40 pounds, bouncing around, hanging off. Any bit helps. So obviously we're a little bit constrained based on where there are holes in all 3 of these plates. But so I'm gonna allow this to drift a little bit from where I had it, and we'll give it a test fit and see if there's still plenty of clearance at the top. I think there will be. So with this mount here, it is a little bit harder to reach some of the mounting points. So I'm going to do what I can with the electric screwdriver, but some of them I may need to grab my T30 Torx L-shaped key and do it the old-fashioned way. But for now, I'm just going to put 2 fasteners in for the purpose of testing the fit on it. All right, so my goal is to, again, have the tank resting on my bed mat, so I don't need to be lifting this up into the mount. Ooh, that might be great. I love that. This is a little higher, so this is the moment of truth.
Oh, true. All right.
Beep. Oh boy.
Does it touch?
No. We got 1/8 inch of clearance there. I'm really comfortable with that, actually. This looks great. All right, so that was a successful test fit. I'm gonna set the tank aside and finish my installation.
All right, Matt's back in there on a call, so I'm going to be unboxing a few of the things PowerTank sent us. They did send us a blowgun kit, which will be very helpful for Dennis, actually. Sorry. But yeah, they sent us a blowgun kit, a tire inflator, this tire repair kit, which actually has, new MOLLE straps. Very cool. Maybe we'll put that on the panel somewhere, but we're going to attach a quick fist right next to this pouch so that we can get that bag just hooked up. Nice little kit. Shout out to the guys over at PowerTank for throwing this in. Blowgun kit. Oops, all right, don't wanna. This will be perfect for cleaning off sand too, in those hard to reach places, so very neat. I think this is for that top area here, the this sort of gauge cluster area.
155.
That's really fast.
Yeah. And this is interesting. I haven't ever used anything like this, but this super coupler, you pull this down and it removes the air from the coupler. So when you plug a tool in or out, you don't have that release.
Oh, interesting. Huh.
There, it applied the air.
So
Pull it down, it airs out, and then
cool.
It's a no drama thing. And then this, so it's like that.
Stays
Keep it out of the dirt, sand, mud,
yep,
etc.
Very cool.
Ready to roll.
All right, so while Matt gets those ready to go in, oh yeah, he put on the Diamondback and PowerTank stickers. Shout out again to those guys for their help with this build. But he got the seats lowered and it's pretty clean in here. The pouches have almost everything they'll need for the trip. And he went and got the front tinted on this, so it's looking very, very nice. And as you guys can see, there's a ton of room underneath this Diamondback panel. We still have some pouches all loaded up, but there's a lot of luggage space there. Finished putting the car seats into the F-150, and so this is pretty much wrapped up.
All right, so with that, this truck is ready to go to the Outer Banks. Looking forward to that. Our power tank fits in here really nicely. The mount with the power plate that they sell was a perfect solution. And then of course we put the MOLLE panels back into the Seat Back MOLLE setup and filled it with pouches. So I think what we'll do is I'll document a little bit of the trip, show you guys how we use some of this stuff, and I don't know where I'm gonna go from there.